if you're serious about succeeding in business, Etsy, POD, anything, like just always know how you spend your time. Like there is 24 hours in a day. Like people like me, I get at least 8 hours of sleep because I just function better. But like I am very seldom like confused as to where the day went at the end of the day. You know, like I usually know exactly what I did, like how I spent my time, what were the inefficiencies that I could clean up. Like I'm well aware of those things. So just try to be like very like highly self-aware, consciously aware of what you're doing.
Welcome everybody to the Till Death Stop Me podcast, because the inevitable is one day we are going to die. Sounds pretty morbid, right? But you want to know what I think is even more depressing? Merely existing on this planet and not achieving, not going, not experiencing, not meeting, not having every single thing that I've ever wanted in this life. We have one shot to do this thing right. So we might as well experience every single thing we've ever wanted, have every single thing that we've ever wanted, build communities with long-lasting, meaningful relationships. Most importantly, achieve our ideal version of what success looks like to us. So that is why in this podcast, we're gonna be interviewing people that, even against all the odds, have been able to do that and are working constantly every single day to build their ideal lifestyle. So without further ado, thank you for tuning in, guys. Let's get into this episode. I want to welcome Ryan Hogue to the TDSM podcast today. Ryan is a 7-figure Etsy POD and FBA seller. He's been selling online for over 6 years. Ryan is one of those anomaly entrepreneurs that actually managed to turn his side hustle into his full-time gig. He built his entire business to 7 figures while working a full-time job. He did this by using a complementary approach to hitting 7 figures without any major outlier successes. So that is why I'm excited to share with you guys his journey and how he is, even today, still being able to hit over 6-figure annual profits with extensive use of automation in his e-commerce businesses, while also being able to dedicate a lot of time to coaching and also his YouTube channel. So without further ado, let's get into the interview. All right, guys, and without further ado, welcome Ryan Hogue to the TDSM podcast today.
Thanks, Hannah. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. So Ryan, you're my second friend, or actually my second Etsy YouTube entrepreneur friend that I've made. The first person I met was Dave from Add to Cart, and then it was actually you. And you've just been a super big help to my business. You always answer my questions and give me advice. So just super grateful that you're here and excited to share, your inspiration and your success with everyone with us tuning in on the show today. So first off, I just want to start off by saying that your story is just a complete anomaly in comparison to my story. So somehow Ryan was actually, able to grow his business to over 7 figures while having a full-time job. So this is been known to me because I could not imagine doing this. Like when I started my business, I was awake at 6 a.m. and I didn't stop looking at my screen till 10 p.m. at night. So I'm really interested to dive deep into this. And, you share your experience about basically how you managed to do both. So let's take it back a little bit. So, how did you, what were you doing before you got into entrepreneurship? 2, what sparked that entrepreneurship flair? And then how did you manage to do both at the same time? If you want to answer all those in one shot.
Sure. Yeah. No, I mean, for me, I'm a weird person, I guess, but I'm open about kind of my quirks. I guess it goes back to start my parents and how they raised me. My parents, I don't think they have a good grasp on the concept of money, although I don't know anybody who really does in the first place. My parents both worked really hard to raise my sister and I, give us a good life, but they made a lot of money relative to I think on average people, but they raised us like we were poor. They liked having money in the bank, but not spending it. And they're still to this day kind of like that. but it instilled in me and my sister that, hey, we need to make money because, it's clearly important to our parents, and they're, forcing us to maybe not get jobs. They kind of always said like play a sport or get a job, and I always opted for sports. But I think that kind of stoked in me like a level of competitiveness that translated into like almost applying that level of competitiveness to what I would consider to be real life. We all play the game of money, don't we? And that really made me kind of take life seriously after college. You know what I mean? Because really, I wasn't doing any sports. I played computer games my whole life. So I was a competitive guy, and it all kind of transitioned into, hey, like let's take life a little bit more serious. Let's try to make more money. Let's see where we can go with this. And one of my major quirks is that like I just hate wasting my own time. I hate being around like traffic in Northern Virginia where I live. So I used to work as a senior web developer at age 25, mainly just because like as a developer, you don't get paid extra for spending, 5 or 10 times longer on a project than you need to. Typically, a good developer writes less code to get the same thing done. And so I focused on just, hey, I'm going to work less hard, write less code, but get like a good solution done, yielding a lot of extra time, right? So I'm sitting at a computer all day, every day as a developer, taking, an hour a day to work and having 7 hours left to do whatever I want. And that's probably, generous, right? Like it only was as hard as we made it, like that job. So I would go to the gym during the day at my job. I would work on my side hustles basically, and everything was good. I not only was I a web developer, but I taught web development at a local university, my alma mater, where I went to, I guess that's what alma mater means, but I went to undergrad and grad school there. Totally didn't need to go to grad school. This is the honest truth. I just didn't know what to do with my life. It was kind of felt weird to like sit at a desk job all day and be like, this is it. I'm done. So I was like, all right, I'll just go to grad school. Why not? Ended up doing that and was like, all right, why did I do that? Because nobody cares if you're a web developer, if you have a grad school degree. So I had to figure out a way to make that pay. It ended up being that I was going to teach web development. Although I had never had any aspirations to teach anything like that, had no training. The day I got over imposter syndrome officially was the first day that I had to stand in front of a class of people that were like 5 years younger than me and pretend to be like an authority on a subject that I probably did know a lot about, but like you still, you know what I mean? It's obviously like a super weird thing and awkward thing. So that was a fun day. I'll never forget that day. Obviously like money was good, with that skill set too. Lots of people, they need a website or they need edits. So I never was short on like projects and stuff. Like I had my own LLC formed right out of college. Money was good on a relative basis, but like it wasn't the life that like I dreamed of living. You know what I mean? We're working way too hard for that money. It was very active income. And again, Northern Virginia traffic is just like, will suck the soul out of you, for real. It will suck the soul out of you. Like I said before we hit record, like I never leave the house. Like there's kind of a reason for that. Cause if I don't have to, I'm just going to sit here and do what I do best.
Were you working in an office or were you working from home? Back then you were working in an office.
Yeah, I bought a house like kind of close to where I worked, and it would still like without traffic, it would take like 10 minutes to get there. But on a normal day, because there's never not traffic, it would take 30 minutes, which like it doesn't sound like a big deal, but I'm like constantly in my own head, like doing the math, like, okay, 30 minutes times, both ways times 5 times 50, and just doing, and then like dividing by 24 and figuring out how many hours of my life, like how many days of my life are wasted in this car, and it's like, it's just sad. Like that's not an existence that I ever dreamt of living. So it was all the inspiration I needed to do whatever it took to get out of there to make passive income. So that's basically my backstory.
So then you just start Googling online a side hustles, or what was that then transition into actually making a profitable side hustle?
Yeah, good question. It all started with Amazon FBA. And what's funny is like I wasn't an Amazon shopper really until like maybe 2 years ago. So like I despised Amazon kind of. Like I didn't get the point because I always was that guy that would like plan ahead of whatever I needed and then just ordered off eBay. And even if it took like 2 weeks to come from China, it would cost like 1/3 the price and it would be there. And like, I don't know, that's a weird thing. Like I'm over that now. I get free Amazon Prime, separate story, but now I'm like Amazon all day, every day. But that was it. Like I just thought to myself, hey, like Amazon FBA, that was kind of during like the initial, I was probably a year early to like the mega craze of FBA courses being everywhere, maybe 2 years early, like late 2016s when I really decided I needed something more. And just honestly, like for me, it was fate. Like I kind of crossed paths with somebody who was a successful FBA seller, like in real life. And he also coached people successfully, like already. And so he charged me like 2,500. I just took it as this is fate. I'm gonna pay him. I'm gonna get this done. And launched my first product, expanded that product into a brand. I still sell that brand today.
What niche is that? Was that in the POD niche, or is that completely separate out of POD?
Yeah, completely separate. It's like a janitorial product, honestly. It's like a like a bathroom product.
But those are the ones that just like the random thing. Like my boyfriend, his best-selling item is a tongue scraper. They sell 1,500 tongue scrapers a day. Like, who would have knew? Like,
let me tell you how deep the tongue scraping goes. Like, there's this new program called not to sidetrack the interview, but there's a program called Amazon Influencers where you can like upload video reviews of products. And so my girlfriend, we both do it. Like, I'm gonna literally do some videos today. But
you
like
get paid for it?
You get paid if they watch your video and purchase a tongue scraper. It could be your boyfriend's. You literally get paid. So like her best seller is a tongue scraper. Like that's how she makes the most money.
Because she's leaving reviews. Oh, if someone purchases off the review, then you get paid for it.
We literally upload a video of a review of that product. We tag the ASIN. Yeah. And Amazon will display that video on the product page in different places. If somebody finds your video, watches a certain percentage, and then purchases, you get a cut of what Amazon takes. So like Amazon will pass some of that through to you.
Guys, that was just another, side hustle. If you want to quit your
go do it for real. Go do it.
Reviews, but you have to pay for the product, or they give you the product for free.
So I'm still new. I'm 1 month in. I'm still new, but I interviewed somebody that you should probably have on. Like I can connect you. His name's Adam Young, and he literally in his 6 months, hit 5-figure profits.
But he's buying the product himself, or Amazon's giving him a free product?
Oh, okay. Yeah, good question. So like he buys them himself. So I guess maybe you deduct, or you can call it an investment in the future. Okay. You could probably resell them too.
You're getting products.
If you get big enough though, the companies find you because your profile is public, and they will like hit you up and say, hey, we'll send you this to do a review.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Learn
so many ways to make money.
All right. Well, great golden nugget there. All right. So moving in, you're doing FBA. And then at what point are you discovering POD? Did you start POD Amazon first or POD Etsy first?
No, I found out about Amazon merch, and then now called Amazon Merch on Demand during my FBA journey. And I actually like made my first FBA sale and my first t-shirt sale through merch, because they're separate programs. FBA is through Amazon Seller Central, which is how like 99% of products on Amazon's catalog are listed. Amazon Merch is a completely separate portal, but ultimately, they both end up in Amazon's catalog, and, the customers have no clue what the difference is on the back end, but I just wanted to make that distinction. I made my first sale in April of 2017 for both. So, and I found out about Etsy print on demand probably towards the end of that year, but I slept on it. Like I used to listen to this podcast, and like they would talk about Amazon Merch. And then one day they were like, Etsy opened the door to print on demand. Everybody should go do it. And I waited probably 6 months. So I probably started that in like 2018. So I lost out on a little bit of early sales, but
6 months is not that bad. 2018 was still very early.
Yeah. It was easy, man. Like I would upload my products, and you know how like when you first, like it counts as a renewal. So they get like boosted in the visibility. Like some products I would literally list and sell in like 5 minutes. It was crazy.
Wow. And so when as you started Etsy, and you obviously have your Merch by Amazon going at the same time, did Etsy just start killing the Merch by Amazon store? Or not store, but listings? Like which one took off more? Obviously Etsy probably.
I prioritized Amazon Merch as like, this is what paced, and I'm not saying this is the best way to do it. This is just what worked for me. Like my entire print on demand approach was paced by my Amazon Merch tier. Cause when you start, you get 10 uploads. Then it goes to 25, then it goes to 100, then 500, then 1,000, and it just keeps going up. Like I'm in tier 200,000 today. So like I have big numbers, but it's cause like, I've got 200,000 products listed, do the math. So like I would literally just take my Amazon Merch t-shirt designs and upload them to an Etsy t-shirt without even really studying Etsy. Like I remember the first day I realized like, oh, if I just make a like Photoshop thumbnail template and magic wand the white background off, and then just like put it against a different background, like all of a sudden I stand out a lot relative to what's there. Like, I mean, early on it was a little bit, a lot of bit easier, right, than it is today. Everybody knows about it today. I would also, for what it's worth, I would also take those designs and sell them on my Amazon Seller Central account with automated fulfillment through, there was only one company I knew that had like a integration for automated fulfillment. And I would just sell it on coffee mugs as well. You know what I mean? And pillowcases and shot glasses. So my whole game was like, Like I made my business without any massive outlier successes. Like, I mean, I've had some crazy stories that were like as much as maybe 5 grand in like a day or two, which is amazing. But that wasn't like what led to me becoming a $1 million and multi-million-dollar seller. It was literally like a very consistent, logical approach of just, hey, like keep this ball rolling and see where it takes you.
Consistency over long periods of time. You know, you're a developer by trade, but usually developers are not designers. So were you designing all this stuff yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a pretty bad designer. I don't know. My old shirts suck. I do a private community these days where I do like 2 calls a week, and I always show a couple of my old designs that still sell. Okay. And they're like weekly, I'll like at least show 1, right? Sometimes 2. They always suck. Like they're always so bad. I'm always like, damn, these designs suck. But to this day, right? I'm showing products uploaded in 2017, like timestamped, so you can't fake it. Right. Amazon shows that. They're still selling. You know, and obviously, like, you know, they make sales, Amazon algorithm understands it, boosts them, they get reviews, and it causes that little flywheel effect. A lot of them, though, are text-based. I think over 50% of my designs that sell in a year to this day are text-based. And that's because you can make a good design without a graphic. Like, you know, there's different approaches and stuff.
Right. And so today, do you work with a designer, or are you still just doing your own designs?
Yeah, I'm a one-man show. I did start working with a video editor like a month ago. So that was the first thing I kind of outsourced, basically. The rest I've only outsourced to like software, you know, and like automation tools, stuff like that.
Right. Which, that's what we're going to talk about now, is you're the master of automation. You are like the most psycho systematic, if I can make it faster, let's make it faster person. You know, you work a lot, but I mean, the beautiful thing about your model is that you don't have employees. You don't really have to like report to anyone. And I just think that is, again, that's a very big anomaly to what I have and what I've done for myself. What are some of the first things that you saw? I guess they're not really inefficient. I guess just things that you can automate or make easier, faster, better. What are those first things that you identified for your own business?
Curtis from Merch Titans and My Designs like made a huge impact in my business. When he reached out, like he basically took an hour and just like did a call with me one-on-one and was like, yo, like I have this upload automation tool that will literally like save you the time of uploading to all of these platforms. And for me, like I saw Amazon merch on there, you know, it's technically against the terms of service, but you know, I've never seen them really like enforce that because you know, why would they, right? Like they're making money when I make money, and I'm making way more when I outsource uploading, which is a super boring, repetitive task. Like I had uploaded 13,000 products manually to Amazon merch, and now I don't need to anymore, you know, and they've given me
13, what?
Yeah,
13,000?
Yo, I could blow you away with these numbers, but that's just the thing. Like I'm a grinder and a doer. Like I get stuff done and like I sit at a computer all day. So I have lower back pain to show for it.
Wait, let's back up real quick. Okay, so hold on. You're talking about, you might have lost people, just for the people that don't understand Amazon. You're talking about the first thing that you really automated was you used the tool that Curtis made to do automations for the amount of listings you're listing on Amazon, you're saying?
Yeah, sorry. So Amazon merch, that program that will give you like more uploads as you sell more.
Okay.
So I was given like 10,000 upload slots. They also will get pulled down if you don't make a sale. So I had uploaded manually, like sat at my computer and uploaded designs and created t-shirts and other apparel products that they allow you to sell. 13,000 and some before Curtis showed me an application where I can just create a spreadsheet and it will literally do what I do for me while I sleep or whatever. You know, I would just run it every morning in the background of my computer. Wow. So, I mean, you can just imagine like how huge that was. And he also had another app that like could do a little bit of design automation where you can have your design in Canva and add a text layer and then upload a spreadsheet of like different variables, and it would swap in and out the text and then download the designs for you. So those two in combination can help you do what I like. One of my mantras is just occupy online real estate, you know? So it helped me occupy online real estate with products that have automated fulfillment, you know? And if anybody cares, like I do have income reports on my YouTube channel. They're just me doing a video version of my blog post. And for my first like 5 years, I had published transparent income reports. So anybody that hears like, oh, $1 million, blah, 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 and thinks it's like a lot or whatever, like number one, that's just sales. It's not profit. And number two, like you get to literally see how long it took me to build these like these income streams up. You know what I mean? Like it was nothing impressive about it. I used to tell my friends and family though, like, yo, like I made $4 yesterday selling t-shirts. It's all automated. And they'd be like, cool, dude, like go buy a double cheeseburger. And I'm like, no, y'all don't get it. Like I'm about to double this to $8 and then I'm gonna double it to 16. You know what I mean? Like I probably make, yeah, it's silly, but they didn't get it. And like, here we are now, like, sorry. Now they hit me up like, teach me.
Exactly.
Like automation tools, like, I mean, literally like a big part of everything that I've done has been like design automation, selling the print on demand stuff, and upload automation. I was also automating uploads to other marketplaces, Seller Central included in some cases. And then there's obviously tools for things, you know, beyond just those two aspects, creating designs and uploading those designs to create product listings. But those are core, right? We automate fulfillment with various companies like Printify. You can do like on Seller Central, there's tools that could like automate buyer seller messaging to increase my reviews for my FBA products, which helps rank them and stuff, but they're within Amazon's terms. Like there's just so many good tools these days. And it's why it's like so exciting to be, you know, alive and be having your own business these days. Like it's so exciting.
Yeah. And then on the Etsy side, what are your main tools that you're using for automation on that side of things?
Yeah, I mean, my favorite tool, I call it like the black hole for print on demand, is My Designs. It's from Curtis, who created those previous tools I referenced, called Merch Titans. My Designs, that software, like it's a little bit intimidating, I think. Just I've heard from other people, whatever it is, the user interface, I don't know. He's re-theming it though soon to look a little bit more user friendly, I guess.
It is a little intimidating. It's like if you have, you know, Photoshop versus Canva, I would say it's like a Photoshop.
Right. That's exactly how I would say. Yeah.
But perfect. It does everything. So,
yeah, it's by far my favorite because I can literally automate the creation of like 100 designs, or I could just manually create 100 designs or download up 100 pre-made designs from Creative Fabrica or Vexels, places like that, right? So there's a bunch of ways to go about it. In 5 minutes, I can upload them to My Designs. You can do up to 120 at a time. So if I'm doing 120, let's say 10 minutes, I can upload them, use AI to do all of my search engine optimization, or SEO for short. I can create 9 good images for my Etsy listing, either using their free with your membership, or I can upload my custom mockups. Then I can have it make a video as the 10th image for all of my Etsy listings, 120 at a time. Then I can go upload them and create like all these product listings with automated fulfillment in 10 minutes. Like it's absolutely insane and nothing sacrificed. Like you're not sacrificing anything by using them.
How many listings does your Etsy you have multiple Etsy shops or just
No, one? I'm just using one.
How many listings do you have there?
So I mean, as a YouTuber with my like Etsy links sprinkled places, like I get as many free listings as I want through the invite. So I mean, I don't have to worry about paying 20 cents. So up until like maybe 3 days ago, I had over 7,000. Now I have, I think, around 5,000. I'm in the act of cleaning them up because like there was My Designs listings where I was doing the best I could. I was using a software called Bulk Mockup, which is a plugin with Photoshop that would essentially do exactly what My Designs does, just in a less elegant way because it runs locally on your computer. So it's a little bit harder to manage, but it's like, I don't need that anymore. So I'm like, I don't like these listings as much, right? Like I want to get rid of some of these and replace them with like better, more optimized listings. And like, as My Designs became better and better, more optimized and stuff like that, like when they introduced they call it the Fraser AI that does your title and tags for you using AI, like with what it learned from processing tens of thousands of Etsy listings, like everything I made pre that existing is so much less optimized. So I want to delete them and then move forward. Like even if I just repost these products, like with the better AI solution. So I'm working on like scaling it back and then rebuilding ahead of the fourth quarter.
My opinion, like, all right, you have 7,000 listings, right? I feel like somewhere in there, Etsy is there's like, you know, you're getting judged on a plethora of things, on CTR, on conversion rate, on average order value, on all these things, right? Do you think that one of the metrics that they're judging us on is, okay, Ryan has 7,000 listings. Out of those 7,000 listings, 15% of those actually make regular sales, right? And then that ratio is actually something they judge. So it's like in our better interest to deactivate listings that historically just like are never making a sale. Do you think that is a metric that they care about? Or
it's a good question. I mean, I think there's probably something to it. Like Amazon merch, I have the 200,000 listings, but they for sure do not like give all of them an equal chance to be put in front of customers to sell. Like my numbers would be much higher. And I've talked to a bunch of sellers that think it's like an algorithmic setting of a range that you make every day. And without ads, you don't really outperform that range. I've talked to a bunch of people that think that. And like on Amazon merch, they will remove your products that don't sell for you. I think Etsy almost does probably bury a lot of these products, which is why I don't mind deleting them.
Right.
Because like if they didn't make that sale because they weren't well optimized, like they're on page 2 or worse, and it's like nobody cares. So I think there's something to what you just said.
Yeah, because it's kind of like, I don't know, I always explain it's like a waterfall, and it's like our job just to throw as many things into the waterfall being their algorithm, right? And out of every 100 things you throw at it, maybe 5 to 10 of them take off, right? And so if we keep increasing that ratio, that makes our like the holistic view of our store look better. So maybe our store gets priority. I don't know. They're super cryptic, but this is something that I think about, and I just wanted to.
I think you're right, and I think there might be something to like on the shop level too, giving more established shops like priority, just because like I've been early to some things in the past where I like was first, you know, and then like Etsy gave me like they rolled out the red carpet, like their algorithm did. Like it was literally paying Google ads for me. Like I wasn't paying for the ads, and I saw my own product in an ad on Google within like hours of me like launching this product because it was converting at such a high clip and there was nobody else selling it. That was just like me, you know, just luck. You could
even
say,
though
whatever.
you didn't have the ads on for it, you're saying.
Right. This was back in like 2018, like my first huge success on Etsy.
Okay.
So I mean, things have changed since then with how it works and stuff, but I just remember that, and so I've been on like the good side of that. But I also feel like this year I've been real early to some big trends without naming them, like that like sell so much, and like I'll have Etsy ads enabled. I will meticulously watch what they're spending my money on in the search terms and turn off all the stupid stuff because there's so much of it, and like keep a high budget. And I'm like, why aren't they pushing this product out? Like it's converting, like I'm making more organic sales than advertised sales, but they know what words it should be showing on. And I know there's search volume associated because like I'm selling them like crazy on Amazon. I even did a test Shopify store, which I'm not like big into Shopify, but I did a test Shopify store with a very specific domain name that matched the exact search terms that I wanted to rank on because I already knew this product was a success. And I made like just yesterday, like the 100th sale, but completely organic. And I made like a sale or two in the first 7 days of launching the shop. So it was like, there was something there. The Shopify store, I should say.
Yeah.
I thought it took a year to rank on Shopify. So I was wrong about that.
Wow. And you're saying that Etsy wasn't pushing it more with the ads?
Like I'm making sales, but like it should have been much higher. And as early as I was, and as high as these listings are converted, like the ads didn't push, and the organic, like I feel like I probably got jumped by people. Granted, there's probably people that undercut me by price significantly because you know how that is. There's always people that like print their own and stuff like that. So that's probably what it was actually. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, but
that might
still,
have been it.
They want to keep us guessing. Always keep us guessing.
But at least the ads push my ads out. You know, like why?
Yeah. I don't know. And that's that I'm always just like, you know, we get really caught up in it. We get frustrated. And it's like, oh, it's not in our best interest. It's not in our best interest. It's just, all right, whatever, move on. Keep launching, and go from there. So I guess obviously you got in very, very early, you know, and some of the tactics and design stuff that you would put out back then maybe aren't necessarily going to work today. So any other best advice or tips of, you know, moving into 2024, whether it's mindset or like actual strategy or I don't know, any card you want to pick up, any best tip that you can give moving into 2024 for Etsy POD sellers?
Yeah, I mean, almost like taking a step back, I always like to evaluate like kind of what I spend my time actually doing, you know, because like sometimes our brains can self-sabotage. We're like we confuse our intent with our actions, and a lot of times they're misaligned. You know what I mean? Like I want to do this, or I speak something into existence, and that is what I want, or I mean, but our actions might not align. Like I just think if you're serious about succeeding in business, Etsy, POD, anything, like just always know how you spend your time. Like there is 24 hours in a day. Like people like me, I get at least 8 hours of sleep because I just function better. But like I am very seldom like confused as to where the day went at the end of the day. You know, like I usually know exactly what I did, like how I spent my time, what were the inefficiencies that I could clean up. like I'm well aware of those things. So just try to be like very like highly self-aware, consciously aware of what you're doing, how much time it takes, like where you know, what's the time sink. I love that people watch our YouTube videos, right? Like maybe get a second monitor and put the YouTube video like on one of these other monitors and work on your main monitor. Work while you listen. Do two things at once. Like that's been one of the biggest hacks like for me that has helped me so much. Is like I'm constantly doing two things at once. Like I use 3 computer monitors and a fourth which has like my information on it, you know? And I think honestly, like I could go on, but like that's a huge place to start. And I would say also just like, if you need 8 hours of sleep, get 8 hours, right? It's better to like function optimally the next day. If honestly, like you are what you eat, like clean up your diet, exercise in the morning really helps too. All these little things can make like such a huge difference in your life.
Yeah. Do you time map out your day? Like from 10 to 11, I'm doing X. Like, is that how you schedule out your day to be so efficient, or how do you do that? Or how do you go about scheduling your time?
No, I'm like scared to do that, you know? I don't want to be like too robotic.
Okay.
But it at least is like, I consciously know, like if something goes long, like it's kind of like this. If I have like 2 hours to work and then something goes long, traffic's bad, now I have an hour and a half to work. Like I will adjust what I'm attempting to get done to make sure that I still get the outcome that I planned on getting, but I'm going to tailor the approach to only having an hour and a half. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people, I'm not trying to be mean or anything like that, but it's like, you know, I like you.
It.
Yeah,
be mean.
like, we self-sabotage, like we self-sabotage, or like, you know what I mean? We have imposter syndrome. We look for easy ways out. Like this is how like every human I think used to be, like I used to be, but yo, like if I need to get something done, and when I say an hour and a half, that's like, okay, let's say I needed an hour. Now I only have 30 minutes. Oh, do I even attempt to get it done? Yes, I will tailor my approach to the fact that I have 30 minutes and still get it done. Like that's how I work. Like I'm a doer. I'm not a talker. Like I get stuff done. So yeah, that's basically it. Like I'm not going to make a design that takes an hour if I have 30 minutes. I will do text only. That's one easy example.
There you go. Okay. That is so crazy. Okay. Yeah. So I literally just was listening to this podcast. I don't know if it was Hermosi that was saying this. It's like they were talking about the sabotage situation, but it's like, say it's like you need to acquire a skill. Like I need to, or photography is a really good one, because that was something that I procrastinated for a long time, right? Like I can sit here and procrastinate, self-sabotage, like just picking up the camera. But in reality, like if I dedicated 10 hours of like watching YouTube videos and just sitting there eating shit, basically trying to figure out how to use a camera, like in 10 hours, I could surely accomplish a lot, but it might have took me like 6 months to just like even say yes to pick up the camera. So it's like we waste so much time in just like that BS and self-sabo limbo instead of just like actually doing the thing. And then you realize like actually when you do the thing, it's like the amount of time it actually took to master that thing or get something done was like so much less time than the time like we waste like beating around the bush before even doing that thing, which obviously you don't really have that problem because you're just like a go. But yeah, 100%. All those things. Self-sabotage is a real.
Just be better every day, right? Like it's just like it's such a cliche, but like in any aspect of your life, like get closer to where you want to be with intent. Like understand what you're doing so that you can, you know, and then just get better every day.
Yeah.
Little by little.
Marathon, not a sprint.
Yep.
Wow. Awesome. Okay, cool. So obviously Ryan has a YouTube channel. He is the most efficient, of course, when it comes to his YouTube. You still put out 1 video a day? Are you still doing that? Or
I am.
Every day, 7 days a week, every day.
That's what I'll be doing after this. So, you know, it's not a coincidence. Like I'll just be recording. So
it's the real deal, the most rawest, genuine content. He's showing all his numbers. Like he literally on his website has like profit reports, like literally his live P&Ls like in real time, like as it's happening. Am I correct?
I stopped doing them in 2022 at the end of the year because honestly, it was just like it took a full day. You know, it used to take 2 days, then I got it down to 1 day, but it wasn't worth it.
just for sharing.
5 years, 5 years though, and they're not impressive numbers, so you know I'm not lying. Like go check it out, ryanhogue.com/income reports.
Okay, we'll link that below as well. I'm going to link below his YouTube channel and also your course, right? We're going to link his course down below. What's the name of your course?
It's a Ryan's Method print on demand course. And it's like without any crazy outlier success stories, it is a very like reasonable approach, which you guys already heard me describe, to creating complementary passive income streams. So like literally complementary, like you're good at Amazon. It's almost like copy paste it, sell it on Etsy. You know what I mean? And then copy paste, sell on Walmart. That was a new addition this year. how to sell print on demand on Walmart.com. So it's like I'm constantly adding to the course. If you join, you get lifetime access. Link in description.
Awesome. And obviously he's going to be sharing the most efficient way to do all the things. So make sure you guys check that out down below. And finally, Ryan, what is one thing you are not going to stop striving for until death stops you?
Oh my God, you dropped that question on me at the end.
It was in the notes.
Honestly, like the first thing that comes to mind is like my pursuit to understand like what money is. You know,
Okay.
we all here are here because of money, right? Like,
Right.
and what does it represent to us? And like, what is it truly like? And like in the shared sense, you know, because it's going to be probably represent different things to different people, but in a shared sense in 2023 in our society, like what is money? That's something I think a lot about. And I listen to a lot of, you know, podcasts like you were talking about before we recorded, you know, people that go deep. So that's something that really interests me. What
is the deeper meaning? I like it. All right, Ryan, thank you so much. And guys, again, all the links that we talked about, they're going to be below this video. And I hope to see you all in the next episode. Bye, guys. Thanks, Ryan.